got to tell you, Chris, the last person I saw that pull off a flamboyant outfit like that was Jorge Paez or Hector Camacho.
At all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
You were mentioning, Joe, the pink hair on Chris Colbert, and that the purpose is his mother battling breast cancer. She's doing all right, but he said he wants just to make everybody more aware, not just breast cancer, but a number of other friends, family, people he cares about, knows of, are in a battle with cancer, and the more he can do to help create awareness, he'll do it. And if it means pink hair in the ring and putting on a show, that's what Chris Colbert is hoping to do. Grew up in Flatbush, that part of Brooklyn, 9 siblings. Taking on Josh Hernandez.
Hernandez, a real strong puncher. He's got 7 knockouts out of 8 wins. But Colbert really is a flamboyant guy, and he was very interesting in the fighter meetings. And if he can fight as well as he talks, he's going to be great one day.
He was very entertaining to speak with. We're in that 130-pound category. Both of these guys on the lighter side of that. Hernandez fighting outside of Illinois for the first time. I mentioned Chicago is a fascinating story. Has a degree, graduated from DePaul University. He's a substitute teacher for 6th graders in Chicago. Hernandez Middle School. No relation, obviously, with his name, Hernandez. But imagine, Lennox, if your substitute teacher comes in and you know he's a professional fighter. You're not getting out of line.
Not at all. Not at all. I guess all the students must be well behaved.
I can't imagine you filling in, teaching a little history, unless it's boxing history, of course. Yeah, that's right. A little geography would be your subject, right?
Yeah.
United Kingdom, Canada.
Jamaica.
One thing, it didn't matter where you fought, you won. He dominated. We're with Lennox Lewis, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and legendary trainer Joe Goosek.
And you see right now, Colbert's already switched from right-handed to left-handed, and he's a very, you can tell athletically, he's very gifted. He's quick. He pulls the head in and out. He's slipping punches, turning. He's going to be a very difficult guy to catch clean.
Yeah, he mentioned when you said, hey, you're a southpaw. He goes, yeah, but I switch. I use the right hand as well. Disadvantage, obviously. There's a right that landed to the side of the head.
Well, that's a rough tactic. So that means that not only is he a good boxer, he's also a rough kid, which can suit you well in this game.
These guys got it started quickly. Yeah. They meant business early.
Ooh, that was a right from Colbert.
Colbert hit him with the right hand and then held him after. He should have just hit him with the left hand after that.
There's a left from Hernandez. Trying to work inside.
Well, the impressive thing about Colbert, what he did there, he stepped in so quick with that jab right hand. And I think basically Hernandez's head got caught up under his left arm.
A couple of light body
or else he
shots
probably would have thrown.
From Hernandez. Working inside here in the opening round.
And Colbert not afraid to work on the inside with the heavier puncher, which, you know, means he's got a lot of faith in his defense.
Inside 10 rounds.
It's getting rough. A lot of hitting behind the head.
And this opening round scheduled for 8. There's a left. The right misses at the end of round 1. Chris Colbert, the boxer from Brooklyn. He can land them. There's the left. There's the right. And he looks the part. He feels the part.
Yeah, he definitely likes to look pretty.
He's pretty in pink so far. This February, the greatest event in motorsports, the Daytona 500. Then it kicks off the 2019 NASCAR season. Joey Logano is your NASCAR champ, a former Daytona 500 winner, February 17th on Fox. And we're live here on FS1 round 2.
Hernandez looks a little bit worn around the eye, like he got cut a little bit with a shot. He's got to be careful because it seems like he gets cut easy.
Hernandez has only been fighting for 3.5 years, 9 professional fights. Has been knocked out once.
Yeah, he avenged that loss. We have to say, you know, he avenged it well. Ooh, nice little right hand he landed off the Colbert, who got stuck up on the ropes there. So.
Yeah, the forehead of Hernandez marked up. And a right from Hernandez. some body shots.
Obviously, what the corner told Hernandez was to get on him and push him back and try to pin him on the ropes. Because that's really, if he lets Colbert circle him,
Colbert answered with a right.
he's too fast.
Colbert likes that. He likes the pressure like that. He likes the guy coming onto him so he can do what he wants to do. He wants to be able to throw shots. He wants to make it easy for himself. And what makes it easy for himself is if the guy's in front of him.
The right miss from Hernandez.
Well, Colbert does well. You see, he turned him out of the corner. Now he put Hernandez back, and he slips off to the side real well. So he's looking for angles as well against Hernandez. He just doesn't want to sit right in front of him all night.
Watch that elbow, watch that
I wouldn't
elbow.
want him to if I was his corner.
You heard our referee, Eric Dolly, say, watch that elbow.
Yeah, well, I told you, he's rough on the inside. Both these guys are rough on the inside.
The right misses again from Hernandez.
Hernandez is working good on the inside. That was real low.
That looked low.
That was.
And it affected him a little bit.
And he's getting a warning. Referee, Eric Dolly.
But again, that's what Colbert kind of, he brought that upon himself by sitting in the corner like that. Landed a nice double hook with his right hand.
Great double hook.
Great counter
Now,
puncher.
Hernandez told us, and he came off as a cerebral fighter. He said, that first round, I'm going to observe and adjust.
Well, he's already bleeding from the nose and mouth right now because Colbert is landing some really good short shots on him. But Hernandez is landing some good body shots when he pins him. But he doesn't have the advantage when Colbert's on the outside like this.
Inside 30 seconds.
Colbert is southpaw right now, throwing that right hook. And that right hook is really effective for him. It's doing some proper damage.
You can see the punches landed on the part of Colbert, who it looks like, from our point of view, was the winner in round one. Round two, and we're counting it down. Colbert trying to stay undefeated. Stings Hernandez with a left. After 2 rounds, the colorful Chris Colbert smiling. He can take it, and he can dish it out. You're watching PBC on FS1. The challenger here, Josh Hernandez from Chicago. His only loss came on a first-round TKO. That was back in 2017, as he is a little behind the undefeated Chris Colbert, round 3.
Chris Colbert doesn't have a mark on him.
No, I really like the kid. I mean, a good little overhand right. I like his style. I like the presence that he's got in the ring. I just like his flamboyance. I think he's going places.
Hernandez got that left to the chin, but it looked like it didn't bother Colbert at all, who's in that wardrobe setting up his opponent.
So he stepped back nice as Hernandez
off
came
the
in.
ropes.
As Hernandez came in, he stepped back with a great right hook. Colbert did. See, he's stepping back, looking to counter punch, and then quickly steps in with a little lead left hand.
Colbert is good with his feet. He's moving around well.
Yeah. And believe me, if you had a regular standard, really good fighter in front of Hernandez, he would probably shine right now. But he happens to be in front of a real awkward, athletic, flamboyant fighter who can fight.
Which makes it difficult for him.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult because he's not used to that type of fighter.
Well, how many guys are you going to ever see that fight like Colbert? It's not too often.
With pink hair.
And Colbert, well, he's thrown more punches and landed more punches in this super featherweight bout. Again, on that 100.
Great right hand by
25, 30-pound range.
No, I can't keep track right now because his orthodox, his southpaw is really switching it up.
Yeah, when he said he can mix it up, that's given Hernandez a tough time.
And you remember Colbert was telling us what a great street fighter he was. I believe it now. You'd hate to mess with this guy in the street or in the ring.
Hernandez has Colbert in the corner. He landed a right. Colbert responds.
But he got counter punched with a great left hook, right uppercut. I mean, he was just playing possum there, letting the punches bounce off his arm until he felt the counter coming.
Larry Hazard, unofficial score.
I have Colbert 20-18. Very exciting. Kid got a lot of class, coming in with the jab. He's showing a lot of basic skills. He's in total control of this fight. I have him 20-18, 2 rounds to 0.
Larry, appreciate that. Colbert began formal boxing at age 13 in the aftermath of some street fights. That was a local kid from Brooklyn.
Seems like Hernandez corner told him, get him up against the ropes and then do some work. So he's trying to get him up against ropes. Not easy.
No.
Hernandez also, his father was a professional fighter, and he helps train amateur boxers. Oh, there's a left that landed on the side of the head of Josh Hernandez.
Hernandez is too close to him when he's got him up against the ropes. He needs to take a little bit of step back and give himself some punching room.
And you can see, you know, Hernandez is a stylish puncher. You know, he's a stylish fighter. He's just got a real tough dude in front of him. Wow. I mean, Colbert, let me tell you something. Look at him in the corner sitting here, just playing a little possum, and there's that little quick counter hook off the touch. He let Hernandez touch him with the hand and then countered him quick with the hook.
Top of the hour over at Fox. There is Keith Thurman, hoping that hand and elbow, those injuries that have kept him out of the ring for almost 2 years, will hold up against the challenger Lopez, who says the timing, look at that focus. He says the timing couldn't be better for this opportunity for him at a world title. It's coming up top of the hour on Fox. We're live here on FS1. Chris Colbert clearly ahead of Josh Hernandez.
Coming out as a southpaw, really effective right now. Doesn't have to do too much. Ooh, good uppercut.
Sweat flag, it landed.
I mean, that's a difficult punch to throw right there, that little right uppercut that Colbert threw.
He kind of lulled him into it.
He did.
With that right hand.
Right side of the forehead marked up on Hernandez.
He's got great timing, great reflexes, and like I said, look at that. I mean, you just can't teach that. And then gets out of the way after a great hook. And look, like I said, you put a standard fighter, good fighter in front of Hernandez, it's going to be, you know, a guy that he's going to be able to handle. This is just an unusual guy. You're not going to see too many guys like Colbert in front of him.
Hernandez chasing. And that landed a right from Colbert.
Yeah, he went under with the right uppercut and over with the hook. 2 shots Hernandez never saw coming.
Colbert doesn't have to do too much because Hernandez is just coming to him. So he can fly off any combination he wishes. And what's working for him right now is that southpaw stance, right hook, and the right uppercut.
In the corner, Colbert. The ref saying stop. A few body shots that were soft from Hernandez to the back of Colbert.
Two quick punches there for Colbert. And what it does is it makes Hernandez hesitant to bum rush inside on Colbert because he knows he's going to walk into some stiff punches.
Colbert is looking good, really good right now. His quickness, his speed of feet, speed of hands. Nobody can't touch him. He can do basically what he wants in there. He's using both hands effectively.
Hernandez taking some tough punches.
I got you. Step back. Step back.
Colbert started his career with 2 straight knockouts, but most recent fights, they've all lasted at least 6 rounds. We're scheduled for 8 here. Under 50 to go in the 4th round.
See, he's got a great explosion off his feet, Colbert, because he gets from point A to point B very quickly. And like right there is another example. But what he can do is he can hit you with long uppercuts, which normally is dangerous, but he gets away with it.
Whoa, because he's got great balance. Great balance, great footwork, and he gets himself in position with those feet.
You can leave yourself open and get, you know, counterpunch very easily on a long left uppercut or right uppercut, depending on which side, but he gets away with it.
Among his advantages, Lennox, it looks, you know, Colbert working inside, but he's got a reach advantage. Oh, there's a nice flurry of punches. Josh Hernandez trying to change the tempo of this fight, and we're right inside of it.
Well, he exactly like the replay we showed from the last round. Colbert did the same thing, waving him into the corner here because he's counterpunching beautifully.
Colbert wants him to come in the corner so he can take care of him with some uppercuts.
Halfway through this fight, later on Fox, we mentioned Lopez and Thurman. Heidi Andrell moments ago caught up with the challenger.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, Josecito, you told me you were going to have a virtual image of Robert Garcia tonight, but in fact, you have the real man himself here. When did you find out that he was coming into town, and how did that all go down?
I've known for a little while, but you know, I got the realistic man here himself, so I'm excited, man. I'm ready to go.
What does it mean to you knowing that he's missing his daughter's quinceañera?
Well, it's an important event, especially for us in the Latin community. You know, it means a lot. It's my world title shot, and he's here for the biggest moment in my career.
You said that you expect the early rounds to be rough. What do you have to do early to make sure that you weather that storm?
I think I just need to dictate the pace and let him know that I'm here. I'm here to win.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Josecito. Chris, we'll send it back out to you.
And Heidi, that's scheduled for 12. The World Welterweight Championship will be on the line, top of the hour on Fox. As we begin round 5, Colbert, Hernandez. And there was a little bit of a trainer issue coming in terms of between Robert Eduardo, daughter celebrating 15 years her birthday, wanted to be back with her and her friends in California, made the trip out to be here in the corner.
He did, and you know, I think he owed it to Josecito. This is just too big of a fight for him not to show up. And look, he left it up to the rest of the family to take care of the daughter's quinceañera. So,
we got some good action going on in here.
Yeah, Hernandez, and now we got.
He's bringing it on a little bit more.
You heard Colbert complain he's hitting me in my back. Colbert unofficially ahead on all 4 rounds, the first 4 rounds of this fight. Larry Hazard ringside with us.
Well, you see it, just how quickly he can pivot around you as well. The kid is so athletic, so fleet of foot, and quick of hand. He's going to be, I think he's going
places.
Well,
for sure.
Remember, Josh Hernandez said I had to bring in some lefties to spar with to counter what Colbert can throw.
You can't bring in anybody that can emulate this kid. There's no way. Now here he is again. Now he's just looking for short punches. He's going to tuck and roll, keep his arms tucked in, wait for Hernandez to touch him on the arms, and then come up the middle like that.
Hernandez gets a left inside.
All those are being blocked, though. The only one landing is Colbert here.
Yep, Colbert landed a right to the head of Hernandez.
I got you. Step back. Good work. Good work.
And again, this is only the 9th fight for Colbert. He's just going to get better.
There's no doubt he's a rising star. He's just going to get better.
Now Hernandez is trying to rough him up on the inside. He landed a decent left hook on him.
Yeah, but what he's doing is keeping his head in one place, and he's getting hit with uppercuts easily.
Yeah, so he's using that elbow against, he's kind of pushing
the
down.
Forearm.
Yeah.
That's a tactical move by Colbert.
And the ref is saying, watch that, watch that.
Yeah.
Again, he does not seem to be bothered when he's on the ropes.
No, and to be fair to Hernandez, he's really trying hard. He's landing some decent body shots, but he's getting countered.
End of round 5. Oh, and a left that landed to the head of Josh Hernandez.
Yeah. This is Hernandez scoring early with a right. And here's Colbert coming right back with another right.
Away from yourself. You're here 6.
Josh Hernandez behind in this fight
6 rounds.
against Chris Colbert, smiling. Pink hair for cancer awareness, and his mother recovering and working through breast cancer. You know, Colbert, we mentioned he started at 13. He got into a fight with a friend, and he said, let's settle it at the Atlas Cops and Kids Boxing Gym. It's a Brooklyn landmark, a mentoring center for neighborhood children, started by retired New York police officer Pat Russo and former trainer Teddy Atlas. And Colbert said, as soon as I walked in, I knew I was home. And he's developed ever since.
Believe it or not, I started the same way. I said, let's go down to the police boxing club.
A lot of good comes from that, and Colbert trying to push his record to 10-0 against a tough fighter from the Windy City, Josh Hernandez. Like a bit of a stumble there from Colbert.
Hernandez is walking into a right uppercut, I'm telling you.
Not only that, Hernandez has got a nice mouse developing under his left eye right now. It's going to make his vision a little bit more difficult, but he's been hit all night on that side.
Said his best punch was a straight right. Have we seen that?
One.
Let's check in with Heidi, who's listening in Josh Hernandez's corner.
That's right, Chris. His coach just told me they don't want him to, they said don't let him take that reach away. They want to use that to break his rhythm. He said he's too fit to let this slip away. Of course, he is a fitness instructor and a substitute teacher, so that all plays in here. Chris?
How about that advice, Joe?
Well, when he said don't take the distance away, I mean, look, he's going to get beat to the punch when there's distance. He's just not fast enough to deal with Colbert's speed from the outside. His only chance is to be right here and hopefully land something of substance, because on the outside he's outgunned. He's had too much speed for Colbert.
Yeah, I think Hernandez has certainly fought a very professional type of fight. It's just, as you pointed out, the skill set. There seems to be a disproportionate advantage there for Colbert.
Plus, he's too far. He should give himself some punching room. He's smothering himself on the ropes right now, and he's allowing Colbert to really get off his shots, and Colbert's getting off some beautiful shots, some uppercuts. He's just waiting for Hernandez to throw a punch, and then he's just countering it. There you go.
That landed a right to the head.
But it's at least Hernandez gets some action going here. On the outside, he gets beat to the punch, and then gets turned, and he gets nothing done from the outside.
Inside of 30 seconds, round 6, you see the landed punches. That's just a gauge for you to see, and that's the way we've observed it here ringside, with Colbert in control of this fight.
He's saying come back in because he feels good in there. This is what he does in the gym, probably.
Well, look, but Hernandez threw a nice right hand by him sitting there. So it's his only shot. I think he should take advantage of the fact that Colbert's sitting there waiting for him.
But notice that right hand came from afar. Close.
Ooh.
Those are some terrific exchanges from each of these fighters. The sweat's flying. Josh Hernandez is not going down easily.
Short punches, Josh.
Coming up when this fight ends, there's Kate Abdo, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, the Hall of Famer. Danny Garcia's in the PBS studio, FS1 and Fox Fight Night, the prelims. They'll have all the action after we finish up here. Then over on Fox, it's Thurman and Lopez with the title fight, and a terrific undercard with some heavyweights, but an entertaining fight so far with Hernandez and Colbert.
Terrific fight. And look, Hernandez is doing his darndest to try to close the gap here and get something done. But, I've got Colbert, winning by a landslide right now.
Okay, you're right. And Larry Hazard, our ringside unofficial scorer, and he has it.
Good right hand.
Every round going to Colbert so far.
Yeah, I've given Colbert every round thus far. I mean, Hernandez is trying, but Colbert's skill set is just a little bit too much for him.
We have not seen a knockdown yet, Larry. Not Hernandez, of his 8 wins, 7 have come by way of knockout. If he can pull that off here, because he is going to have to rally in round 7 of 8.
I was listening to his corner, and his corner was saying short punches, Hernandez. So that's what they want him to throw, short punches, especially when he gets inside.
And Colbert doesn't look like a guy you could easily knock out.
Josh, look.
No, and for a guy that could easily just box if he wanted to, Colbert, he's sitting in the pit with Hernandez, duking it out.
And the referee's warning Hernandez because he's punching him in the back of the head, and he's saying stop it.
Yeah, there was a left to the body and then a counter, and there goes Colbert. Boy, that speed you talked about, Joe, you could see it.
He's actually beaten Hernandez at his own game.
Yeah,
Hernandez's game is the inside against a guy like Colbert. But he's getting right there. He's got hit with 3 great punches, a double hook and a left hand.
And we're seeing some blood on the body
Colbert's defense is good. His hands is up, and his hands should be way up.
of Josh Hernandez.
I mean, Hernandez's face really tells the tale. He's got blood coming from his nose, from his mouth, from his eye.
The forehead's been marked up. There's a right that lands to the side of the head
Great left
of Hernandez.
Yeah. Colbert's to a great right hand, too. Right hand to the body, then a right hand to the head. This is what he needs to do. But after doing that, he needs to move away from the ropes. Simple as that. Although he's getting a lot of glory on the ropes, nerves. He's not getting hurt. He's not getting hit.
He isn't. And that's why
That's where he likes to fight right now. He's calling him back in.
Well, he just feels he's the superior athlete right here on the ropes or in the middle of the ring, wherever he's at. He feels he can handle Hernandez no matter where he's at.
Yeah. Hernandez is still getting caught with that uppercut. He needs to step to the one side or the other so he doesn't get that straight shot.
It's out of 30. Colbert
all that, right?
is
Don't hit him in the
During
back.
that little break, Colbert just took a peek over at Lennox Lewis and gave him a big smile.
I thought he was smiling maybe at you, Joe, as a trader.
No,
Giving you advice.
no, because Lennox is the star here.
Okay. All right, as long as you know your place.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Joe Gleason, Lennox Lewis, Chris Myers on FS1 as we wind up 7. And Josh Hernandez hanging in there against Chris Colbert. And the acknowledgement as Chris Colbert glanced over, that's at the former undisputed heavyweight champ of the world. He signals Lennox Lewis. And now let's listen into the corners of Colbert and Hernandez.
Look at me. We got to stop this dude. No, listen. You need to slow down. You need to slow this breathing down. Look at me. You got to stop. Listen to me. Remember that punch we worked in the gym? Yeah. That right hand right here? Remember that shot? Yeah. That shot, he's waiting for you. When he's leaving. Put ice on my head.
Yeah, so now we're in the corner of Chris Colbert, clearly leading this fight. We apologize for some of the language you heard in the corner moments ago. Sometimes guys forget that they're live. Obviously, he's trying to make a point with his fighter. And what was Hernandez, since he has to rally in this thing?
Hernandez was making one point. You need a knockout to win. And he was saying, go to that right hand that we worked on in the gym. And I think Hernandez has been going to that all fight. It's just to no avail.
In round 7, Hernandez landed the higher percentage of punches, believe it or not, but it's the impact. Colbert has landed maybe the more impactful punches.
Oh, a great exchange right there.
Final round.
Colbert landed, and then Hernandez came back with a counter punch, and then vice versa again.
Yeah, it's not going to take one punch to knock out Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert doesn't look tired at all. He does not look stressed. He's been smiling from the start.
Another good lead right hand by Hernandez right there.
Hernandez going for that shot. There's that right hand.
He's got to go for it.
The one his father was talking about, that little short right hand.
He's got to be careful because it's almost behind the head.
Miguel Macho Hernandez, his father had 32 pro fights back in 2003 through 2013 and trains his son.
So he knows what he's looking at. He knows what he's talking about. But I think he also knows that his son is way behind him, and it was obvious from what the instructions of the corner.
But you've both been impressed with the way that Josh Hernandez has hung in there.
Absolutely. Not just hung in there, his effort. He's a tremendous effort.
To no avail.
The substitute school teacher who also helps in area gyms back in Chicago, whose dream is to be a champ one day. Heidi has more on Hernandez.
That's right, Chris. I just spoke to his corner. He told me that they really work that short right hand in the gym. They feel like they can knock him out. They've seen a tendency from Colbert when he leans right when he's in that orthodox stance, and that's when they want him to throw that short right hand.
Yeah, he said the straight right was his best punch.
Well, Hernandez just got hit with a nice right hand as Colbert was leaving the ropes. But the problem with that looking for the knockout, I don't think that's going to happen because Colbert keeps his hands up too well on the ropes, and he's too slick. And he's too fresh right now.
Yeah, it's not going to take one shot to knock him out. You need to throw a combination of different shots.
So even if he
and he's never been hurt yet. None of these punches have hurt him or even affected him.
Hernandez has not won unofficially one round in the previous 7. And unlikely to win this one despite all his effort.
I will tell you this, even though Colbert landed 2 great shots, Hernandez did come back with a couple of counters, landed a right hand and left hook on Colbert.
And back at Hernandez Middle School, those 6th graders that know their substitute teacher is a professional boxer, tuning in, watching, rooting for him. At least he shows great effort.
He's got 25 seconds to get it done if he's going to get it done. He's not going to win a decision.
And Colbert's doing the right thing. He's moving around, not getting hit sillily. Oh.
That's a wrestling move, a slip and a takedown.
Well, Colbert said, if I'm going to go down on accident, you're going to come with
me. Make that clear, right, for the judges, the referee, and those watching. Oh, that landed on the chin of Hernandez. Showed a lot of stiff fight. A couple of 20-year-olds going at it toe-to-toe, battling each other. Josh Hernandez hanging in there. Chris Colbert clearly seems to have dominated this fight without a knockdown, but we'll get the official result in a moment. You pick a fight with Chris Colbert, you're in trouble. He came out blazing. A great sport, though, against the challenger, the substitute teacher who taught us all a lesson about effort and determination, and Josh Hernandez. And now to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, the judges are in complete agreement. As we go to the scorecards, our officials, all three, scored about the same. They all scored about 79 to 73. All three in favor of the winner. And still undefeated, Brooklyn's golden child, Chris Little B. Hop Colbert.
And Little B. Hop, after Bernard Hopkins, styling and successful, the local kid makes good. Top of the hour on Fox, our welterweight champion.